welcome to the video. If you are new here, then hello, welcome. My name is Sarah and I'm ready for this video. Are you ready? Because I'm so ready. Today we are doing a Valentine's Day look because it's February and it's coming up soon. So this look is like really pink. So if you don't like pink, then I am so sorry, but it's kind of the theme I was going with today. So I definitely did pink eyes, pink face, pink absolutely everything, just because, you know what, why the heck not? Just try not to maybe wear like a pink dress on Valentine's Day with this look, because then it's way too much pink probably. Maybe, I mean, I don't know how much you like the color, but that's what I would do. I definitely tried to keep it very fresh, very glowy, very girly. So that is today's Valentine's Day look, and if you guys are interested, then keep on watching. So of course, before foundation, we definitely do have to prime the skin for the foundation. So I'm going to be using the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer. This is very, very good, especially if you want to have that nice dewy skin like we're going for today. And I actually got this in a BoxyCharm in January, which was last month, and it's really good. I really like it so far. The best thing ever about it is that it smells amazing. I wish I could explain the smell. It's just like fresh, kind of lemony maybe, but like it's just a scent that's really hard to place for me. I would definitely love to have this scent in everything, in a candle, in a body spray, all over the place all the time. Part of me thinks I just put on way too much primer. Part of me thinks I put on just the right amount. This stuff dries almost instantly, so you really have to work fast with it. But moving on to foundation, I'm actually going to be mixing two things to kind of get that nice dewy and glowy finish. Now, normally I would just be using my regular Covergirl Vitalist Elixir foundation. I am in the shade Ivory. This is the lightest shade that they make. So to mix with the Covergirl, I am going to be using something from the Body Shop. This is their Radiant Highlighter. It is just a nice like baby pink liquid highlighter, and I was actually a really big fan of this last year. I used it quite a bit. I know I mentioned it a little bit here and there in some of my videos, but today we're bringing it out again and we're going to be mixing it with the Vitalist Elixir. So I know some people usually kind of mix stuff like on like a little tray or whatever, but we're just going to be mixing it straight up on our faces because I don't have one of those fancy trays. So basically I'm just going to put dots all over my face with this stuff, and then blend it all out. You'll see, it works just fine. I don't really know how well this picks up on camera, but my face is definitely glowing to the gods today. That's the first time I've said that. Don't know if I'm okay with it. We're gonna go into concealer. I'm gonna be using my Tarte Shape Tape. I am in the shade Fair. I don't know if this is the lightest shade. I'm normally the lightest shade in everything, in case anyone was ever wondering that. So I'm gonna go ahead and immediately set that just because I really don't want it to move or crease, especially because concealer does that to me no matter what. I know the Shape Tape like advertises that it's like crease free, but it's totally not, just saying. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. Again, I'm in 05 Fair. So I just like to dip my sponge, which I am using the L'Oreal sponge, into the powder and then just press it into the skin. I really don't use that much because I actually am not going to have it sit there and then dust it away. I'm really just pushing it right into the skin, so you really only need to take enough on your sponge that you need to do that. So lately I've been kind of into going back into cream contour. I kind of stepped away from that for a while for literally no reason at all because I actually really like doing it. So I'm going to go back to another old favorite, which is the NYX Wonder Stick. This is in the shade Light Medium, and I'm going to only go in with the contour end. So it's pretty much just a very cool toned light brown shade, which is perfect for this ghosty complexion. And I just go ahead and take a little bit down the sides of the cheekbones, sides of the nose, forehead, you know what I mean. So I'm going to quickly go in and bronze my face. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This is actually just a like smaller sample size of it, but I'm really enjoying it and I probably want to buy a bigger size. And I know they just put out like, I feel like it's like a Park Avenue collection or something like that. I could be totally wrong, but there's at least a palette, so this is what we're putting on our faces today. And I actually really like it because it has definitely kind of a very subtle shimmer to it. And I know some people prefer to use more shimmery bronzers and some people prefer to use more matte bronzers. I definitely can go with both sides, but today for this particular look, this is the one that I'm feeling. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that with the Moda Pro Pointed Blush. This is obviously meant for blush, but I personally think it works just fine for bronzer. You can always use one brush for more than one thing. So before I do like blush and highlight and lipstick and stuff like that, I am going to go into the actual eyeballs. So we are going to be using some stuff that is pink and red because it's Valentine's Day. So I'm going to start with some of my single shadows from Colourpop. These are actually just amazing quality, amazing colors. I highly recommend. You should buy so many of them. And I know since I bought them, because I bought them pretty much when they like first released, like forever ago now, I guess. They have so many more colors and they have more like actual big palettes, which is so cool. But I'm just going to go ahead and use the singles that I already have. Starting off, I'm going to go into this light baby pink shade here, which is called Secrets. This is going to be kind of like our initial crease transition shade, and it's very, very subtle, but it definitely helps blend everything out very nicely. And because we're going with a pink look today, I'd rather use, I guess, a pink transition shade than a brown transition shade because it just looks so much nicer for the look. But I'm going to be taking that on my absolute fave BH Cosmetics 101 brush. This is, if you watch my videos, hands down my favorite brush ever, especially for doing transition shades or anything that is going to have to be like a blended out kind of thing. This is your best friend. At least it's my best friend, but it should be yours too. So I just had zoomed you guys in for this part because I think that you can see it a whole lot better. I hope you can. Let me know. What do you think? But we're going to move on to the next shade, which is going to be this hot pink shade right here, which is called Fair Play. I'm actually going to go ahead and take it on the exact same brush. But the trick to this when you're using like a really, not dark, but like intense color, especially when you're using like a really fluffy brush such as this one, is that you want to put very little product on the brush and just go in very, very lightly. It helps if you kind of hold the brush at the end and just like do your little motions like that. And then if you find it's not a deep enough color, you can always go ahead and just put on another layer or whatever and just kind of intensify it. But that's my biggest tip, I guess, for putting on a more intense shade with like a fluffier brush. This is the technique that I use. Some people might use a different technique, but this is what I find works the best for me. So it's okay if it kind of looks like crap for now. We're gonna go ahead and blend and touch it up a little bit later. So now I'm gonna actually move on to a different palette just because I don't have this particular color in my Colourpop colors. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Smashbox Covershot Bold Eye palette. And this is really great just kind of as like an additional palette to your collection, just because you can have a whole bunch of different vibrant fun colors just to kind of throw into a look or to add to an already vibrant look. So we're going to go into the first shade here, which is called Fling. This is basically just your nice fire red shade, and I'm going to go ahead and take that on a oval shadow brush from Crown Brushes. This is a really good one for just kind of packing on a shade, as we are going to be packing it on over the entire lid space. So now that your little eyeballs are on fire, we're just going to go back into that hot pink shade Fair Play, and we're going to go back to the fluffy 101 brush, and we're just going to kind of use that to like blend out the top where we just put the red. So basically we're going to put it exactly where we put it in the beginning, but because the red is there now, it's going to help blend. So basically this eyeshadow look is just kind of going from start to finish, finish to start, if that's, you know what I mean, because we're actually going to go back to our original shade, Secrets, which was that baby pink shade, and again on the same brush, but we're this time going to be kind of putting it like right here, kind of where it meets the brow line, because this is way too harsh for me and probably for most people. So we really want to fade that out nicely into a lighter shade. So just going back to the original shade, same brush, blending out that top half there. And if ever you feel like you still need to do some extra blending and stuff like that, you can just go ahead and take a product-free blending brush. This is one from Elizabeth Mott, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of go around the brow bone and just make sure that it's really, really super blended out. So this next step is totally optional, but I do like to do it just to add a bit of fun to this look, because right now it is totally matte and I'm not super used to having a totally matte look. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner. This is in the shade Catcall, and I'm just going to kind of like put a little tiny bit just like in the center of the lid, and it's just going to be like a pop of shine. So because I feel like we are a little bit like top heavy and there's nothing on the bottom, I am going to go ahead and do a little something, a little sneaky something on the bottom. So just going back to our single shades from Colourpop, I'm going to go ahead and take this sort of dusty pink shade called the News, and I'm going to take that on a, what are you called? Luxie 213 T brush, and I'm just going to run that over the entire lower lash line. That's really all we're going to do for the lower lash line, but I just wanted to put a little something. So just to finish the rest of our little eyeballs, we're going to go into the Anastasia Sugar Glow Kit, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the shade Stardust. So this is just the baby pink highlighter, and I'm going to go ahead and just highlight the brow bone and the inner corner. So I am going to quickly just do some mascara. You could, if you wanted, do some false lashes with this look, but honestly I feel like whenever I do a look that I am really loving, I don't like to kind of like hide it with false eyelashes. So we are just doing mascara today, and I will be using the Tarte Tarteist Lash Paint. This has the longest name ever in my opinion, mascara on my eyelashes. So welcome back to the entirety of my face. It looks fabulous. I'm super excited with how this eye look turned out. So basically at this point the eyes are totally done, and apparently your girl made a mistake and did not hit record. So I already did do like the blush portion of this, which it was a very subtle blush, just a little touch of something, but it actually was the Vintage by Jessica Liebskind, and this is actually supposed to be a highlighter. This is the Illuminating Face Highlighter in Rose Gold. I actually did receive this in a BoxyCharm, but it came broken, so I repressed it. It looks a little bit like lumpy, but it's cool because it still worked, and you can kind of just see a little hint of something on the cheeks because obviously it's supposed to be super shimmery and more kind of focused on the shimmer than the color, but there's still a little bit of color, so I used this as the blush today. So unfortunately y'all did miss that step, but just put your blush on however you normally put your blush on, and that's how I did it. But we're going to move into highlighter, so I'm going to go back into the Glow Kit and the shade Starburst, which is what we put on our eyes, and then I'm just going to put that onto the cheekbones, tip of the nose, and Cupid's bow, and then we are done pretty much almost except for lipstick. So moving right along to lipstick, I have officially decided we're going to go with something pretty tame for this because I do want the eyes and like everything up here to be the center of attention. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Maybelline Color Sensational lipstick in Warm Me Up. I don't know if this has any other title to it, but that's what it is, and it has the little brown cap. That's what we're using. So last but not least, we do have to set it all into place. So I'm going to go back to another old favorite, which I don't think I've mentioned in at least a few videos anyways, and that's going to be the Colourpop Aquamarine setting spray. This is one of their crystal setting sprays, and it is in the ones that are like targeted for dry skin and to have like a glowy, dewy finish. So that's what we're using. So there you have it. That is this year's Valentine's Day look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it's really fun, and it's pink and it's girly and it's not too over the top, which is kind of nice because I definitely don't always enjoy like too over the top. I don't know, sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. So I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want, you could subscribe. You don't have to, but I highly recommend it. And if you have any requests, or if you just want to say hello, because I love chatting with you guys, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!